a tale of a young girl who loses her mother and grows up with her father. Along the way, she remembers to always show kindness and always have courage. These two things get her through as she loses her father and is found in the care of her evil stepmother and deals with her stepsisters. So first, I'm going to talk about Frozen Fever. Frozen Fever was adorable. However, like the feature film, I felt like there was some plot holes, such as Elsa getting cold or having a fever. They could have explained that. They could have explained why all of a sudden, like, these snow creatures appear when she sneezes. Like, is this really the first time she's ever sneezed, ever been sick, ever had a fever? I know she's human, and maybe I'm just, like, thinking too hard, but it was a great, cute, short film. I also feel like they were kind of cramming in every Frozen reference in there, and whether it worked or not, I guess it did, but it felt like they were trying to cram a lot into like a 6-minute short. For those who have watched my Disney Maleficent review or any other of my film reviews, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Disney turning their Disney classic films into live action films because, one, I'm studying to be a screenwriter. It's kind of like get new ideas. Don't go with safe. Don't do something that's already been told. But I was pleasantly surprised with this film. I don't have a lot of negativity to say about it. I will just say that the Prince, Kit, he kind of turned into a little bit of a bumbling idiot when he first, like the first couple of times he's with Cinderella, but with it being love and all those kind of feelings, it was okay. First off, some kind of funny, unrelated thing is Richard Madden plays Kit, and he is known for being Robb Stark in Game of Thrones, which I love Game of Thrones. And then I kept seeing Kit as Jon Snow. See if you can make the connection there, because Richard Madden does play Robb Stark, but the guy who plays Jon Snow is Kit Harington, so it's kind of, I just kept thinking about Jon Snow in some sense, but that's completely unrelatable, you know, the mind wanders. I'm gonna, you know, say some spoilers in this, about this movie, because, oh well, if you don't want spoilers, watch this after you see the movie. Okay, first off, I really liked how they showed Cinderella's mother. They actually show her death, they show the relationship, and they really kind of have a tie-in with the mother about being kind and having courage throughout this whole movie, which is a great theme. I really liked the father and daughter's relationship because you really see that clearly as well. Another thing that I really liked about the movie was the mice. They didn't make the mice sing, thank goodness. There was no singing in this movie, which I didn't feel like it needed it. You know, just focus on the one thing you had about being kind and courage and dreaming, and that was all good. I liked how they made the mice look. They were cute. They weren't as creepy, and they didn't seem totally CGI. Another thing that I really liked about this movie, they didn't go over the top with the comic, like the comic relief. You know, they really did a nice blend of the classic Cinderella, the 1950 animated version, and with kind of like a freshness of a twist. There's really no twist in this movie. It stays true to the original story, which I love, but it did have a freshness feeling about it. I liked how the sisters, Anastasia and Drusilla, they had their comical, you know, banters and, you know, their shenanigans, we'll just call them. They had those things and they didn't go over the top, whereas like Maleficent, the fairies were just bumbling idiots and it wasn't in character. It did not go over the top to a point of annoyance, so that I was really, really happy about. Another thing I really, really liked story-wise is that they made Prince Charming, Prince Kit, have his own story. Thank goodness they actually made the prince like into a character. You saw kind of what he was going through. You saw things from his perspective. They were relatable. You can actually see why Kit fell in love with Ella. One of my favorite scenes in this film is that Kit's father is on his deathbed and he hugs his father as his father, basically you can believe that his father dies in his arms. Now I really like this part because to my knowledge you don't see in films a young man holding his father while he's dying, let alone holding a parent or a guardian, or you don't see that, especially when it's kind of two guys doing that. You don't see that in films from what I can recall. So it was really nice to show a young man grieving over the death of his father. It was really emotional for me because it was relatable, and most of all, it was really believable. They took Prince Charming, who was just there, and made him into a real character, and I don't think that's never been done before in a Cinderella retelling. One thing that had never been done before is that finally the prince actually goes out and looks for the foot that fits the slipper. We all know that in the story he just sends out his people, which he does in this film as well. But then it's revealed that he's actually disguised as one of the riders on the horses. And he's actually there. He actually goes and looks for her himself. And he puts the shoe on himself. I don't think that was ever done in a Cinderella retelling either. And I thank you for making this prince be an active prince. So that was also really fresh and nice. Some of my other favorite parts about the movie that I felt were well done was the casting. Lily James embodies Cinderella. She was perfectly believable. Honestly, when I first saw like photos of her, I didn't completely buy her as Cinderella. But seeing her kindness, and she totally embodied Ella's character. I thought Richard Madden did good with what he had. It's hard to come up with stories for like a prince when they're barely in the original tales. And I really liked the casting choice of Helena Bonham Carter because she wasn't like a laughable, goofy fairy godmother. She was a serious, beautiful, helpful fairy godmother, and I loved that. I really enjoyed this movie. I think I can say I loved this movie. I really liked it. The effects were beautiful. My two favorite effects was the changing of the carriage back into the pumpkin. I thought that was really well done, and I loved the time they took with Cinderella's dress transformation, because I have read so many times that was Walt's favorite part, so it was kind of nice to see that tribute in there, that they took the time with the dress transformation. Overall, I just thought this was a beautiful movie. The score was beautiful, the shots were beautiful, the costumes, oh my god, I want Lady Tremaine's entire wardrobe. Cate Blanchett was a really good Lady Tremaine. Like the whole cast, it was casted perfectly. I thought they handled this very well, and they did not stray at all from the story, but they still made it fresh. So I give this movie 4 out of 5. I really liked it. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you would like me to do any makeup tutorials based on the looks in this film, leave them below. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this movie, and thank you so much for watching. Have a magical day, and remember to be kind and show courage. Bye-bye!